What's going on, Aries? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having what I want you to have. I think, let's do a new one. I hope you're having a fabulous month so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just phenomenal, Aries. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why this day is so special, Aries, because it is Celestial News Monthly. Ooh, that was a good one, Aries. I was feeling the energy on that one. I hope you're feeling it too. But with this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Aries, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Pull this down just a little bit. Bam. Just great energy all around here, Aries. Now, I have Zodiac cards here with the signs that the sun and the planets are in. I'm going to pull an oracle card for each one of them, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, Aries, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching here, so definitely check them out. I think you'd enjoy the energies that they bring. But also there's some links for some astrologers that I like, so if you want to add on to your astrological knowledge on top of a celestial news monthly there, it's nice to always have like a broad perspective and see how people are, how people interpret the energies. It's always nice to have that different sort of viewpoints. Also, there are some links for some apps that I like working with. I found some podcasts that I really like here, so I'm gonna start putting that. I'm gonna include down there here in a bit. Yeah, I've been a little under the weather there, so I'm kind of getting caught up on some things. So yeah, definitely pay attention to that, Aries. But before we kind of jump into this energy, Aries, there is one kind of big aspect that I want to talk about, well, planetary aspect that I wanted to talk about, that's going to be a pretty big one that's going to kick off right before the sun enters into Aquarius. And this is the sun conjunct Pluto. And conjunction is when the planets are within 3 to 0 degrees of each other. It's a real tight aspect. It's the strongest blend of energies or, relationship between two celestial bodies. And this, I feel like, is a big one because when you have, like the sun, which is, shines so bright, it's like who we define ourselves as, it's this big energy with Pluto, which brings it's like literally polar opposites. The sun, the Pluto being the farthest planet away from the sun, or you know how it is, technical terms, but being that energy, that planet that kind of brings stuff up to the surface. This is going to be a big deal, and the reason I wanted to bring this up too is because where they're forming a conjunction is going to be on the last degree of Capricorn, the 29th degree, which is the anaretic degree, which can be a pretty intense point. It's can be a point of like crisis or culmination. It's where the themes of the signs are really felt kind of more urgently. It's like the kind of final push or kind of last chapter in the book of kind of Capricorn related themes, and this is really like the last page of this Capricorn thing, because this is happening not just on the 29th degree, but on the 59, there are 59 minutes, with each, and this is forming on the 59th minute as well. So this is I feel like a very special aspect that's happening here. And this can lead to, significant self-growth, often through intense and challenging experiences, because Pluto brings those things Pluto's not just a planet of transformation. He is that intensity, that destruction, that kind of death, that rebirth, that puts those kind of challenges in our face in order to push forward that energy of transformation. And now it's like it's like we're bringing up the last things of Capricorn. Pluto's bringing it up and the sun's shining a light on it. So there may be some things that may be revealed on this around this time there, Aries, some really shocking things that may come up for you, so, or for the collective. So something to keep in mind of. But people may find themselves too might be confronting power issues, control dynamics, or even deep-seated fears. It can be very conjunctions can be kind of can lead to a bit of anxiety sometimes. So just something I feel like to just be aware of there when we're going through this energy, Aries. It's a very, very big one. So yeah, look, just pay attention to that. But let's talk about this, because really there's just a whole birthday. It's like not even a bash. It's almost like it's just a, I don't even have the word for it. But Aquarius is going big because you have the sun that's entering their sign, Mercury that's going to be entering, Venus, Mars, and of course Pluto. So we're going to be in very heavy Aquarius energy here soon there, Aries, which is going to be pretty beneficial for you. That's well, we'll get into that in a little bit. But let's talk about the sun first, because the sun is going to be entering into Aquarius on the 20th of January, and that'll be about at 9:07 a.m., and that'll be Eastern time, and we'll be there through the 18th of February. And with this energy, Aries, individuals might feel more inclined to express their unique qualities and may seek more kind of independence in their personal lives. It's very interesting because Aquarius is they're they're a humanitarian sign. They're about groups and the collective and things, but it's that how do I as an individual impact the collective, and better the collective and free up, get this sense of, power to the people in a sense. It's very, very liberating energy that comes with Aquarius. They're not ones that want to have their freedoms taken away. So now we're moving from this, so we're getting to this age of Aquarius where it's like we're getting out of that authoritarian, materialistic, kind of corporate, governmental type of energy of Capricorn into this sign. So we're going to see some very drastic shifts over these next, over the season, and honestly over the next 20 years, especially with Pluto being there. But also, there could be a greater focus on social causes, community involvement, and connecting with like-minded groups or individuals. And on a bigger scale there, Aries, is a period where you may see more people forming movements for social change, and really big one too, because Aquarius can deal with technology as well, and the science and things like that. So there's going to be huge technological advances. I was just talking with someone about Teslas the other day, and it was just like where I know cars are getting there where they can drive themselves, but it's just like at the time I'm like, what, to me Teslas are like the iPhone of cars. I'm just, you breathe on them and they break. And listen, I say that as a someone who has an iPhone, so keep that. That's the let's not take that some kind of way. So there's just something to keep in mind in there, Aries. But also, we have Mercury that's going to be entering into Aquarius on the 5th of February at about 12:10 a.m. And this is a dope placement for Aries, or for Aries. Oh, yeah, it is a dope placement for you. But this is a dope place for Mercury as well, because Mercury is exalted in Aquarius, and it's a very Mercury is about our intellect and how we communicate and things, and this is generally considered a time for open-mindedness, intellectual exploration, and particularly in areas that involve like the collective well-being, again, technological advances, and innovative problem solving. So this is the time to really kind of think outside of the box. In what ways have we been kind of limiting ourselves and really kind of pioneering new and fresh ideas there? It's a time to really kind of brainstorm and start communicating with others there and exchanging ideas. So participate in that area. So who knows where things will go. Now with Venus, I'm going to talk about in the next energy, because she's going to move into Capricorn before she moves into Aquarius. She got a little bit of traveling to do. But Mars is going to be entering on the 13th of February at about 1:05 a.m. And this inspires innovative and unconventional approaches to achieving our goals, because now our drive and our action is infused with this Aquarian energy. And now our, people feel more inclined to try new things or think outside of the box. There's a strong desire for like personal freedom, independent actions, but something to be mindful of, Aries, that people might resist control or feel more inclined to challenge authorities. So you may see this push against like, any sort of restrictive, any sort of restriction, whether this be in our workspace or maybe even in like our home space or in our governments, or wherever you see these restrictions of freedom. Mars in this Aquarian energy is fighting for the people now. So this can be a tricky one there, but this is a great energy too there, Aries, for, I feel like, for like healthy debates and things, because now we're kind of, it is a little action, we still have that action driven, but it's a little more cerebral now. So I like this Mars kind of in Aquarius energy here. And then we have the much anticipated Pluto that's going to be entering into Aquarius. It's a little bit later than when the Sun. They're going to enter on the same day, but Pluto is going to enter at about 7:56 p.m. And when you think about Pluto being the furthest celestial body away from the Sun, he doesn't change signs that often. And the last time that he was in Aquarius, I think his cycle's about 240 years to make a complete revolution around these zodiacal wheel. So this is a big deal when any of these outer planets move, but especially when Pluto makes a move. And this is going to bring about significant changes in social structures and collective ideals. And it can lead to the rise of new social movements and a redefinition of societal norms. And I even feel too that there's this, with Aquarius minds, there's just going to be, I feel like, just continued advancements in technology. And that's interesting, Aries, and this is the first one I kind of got this sort of download with, but I feel like that's something that we do want to be mindful of, where technology has provided this level of convenience. I mean, you can get everything at a touch of a button now. It's just, it's kind of feeds into where is that convenience. It's really helped elevate us, but technology does have its downsides as well. It keeps us, when you look around, Aries, you see everyone so plugged into their phones and things and technology, and not getting into this, not socializing as much. So this is something I feel like to kind of pay attention to as well, to not keep your head down when there are things that are starting to change. We want to take part in where the growth is going, again, in the advancement of society. So that's very interesting. So just something for, and not that I say you do that, Aries, but that's interesting that came through with you, because that's first I've had thought that. So yeah, just something to consider. And another little perk too is that depending on where your Aries placements are at, this is forming a sextile with your sign, which is creates very easy flowing energy, very beneficial, creates opportunities, and just can be very nice energy there. So work with this as far as like, just like take, maybe joining that new group that you've been thinking about, or maybe jumping on, like, socializing in different networks and utilizing all the more positive things that the internet and things have brought about, and how it has, even though we have gotten a little more consumed in the technology, it has helped us connect more, from just like what's going on in your hometown to what's going on, you could see what's happening in Zimbabwe, we could see what's happening in Australia, and feel that sense of connectiveness there. So that could even be a strong energy too, just something to think about there, Aries. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here. Interesting. All right, so you have the Maintain card here, Aries. And with this energy here, the first thing I got into that I received here was just housekeeping, and I feel that for you during this season that there's going to be some things. I feel like that starting up things is not going to be as important as making sure that you maintain them, because I feel Aries is one that can just kind of start stuff up on a dime, that has no problem. Oh, you want to do that? Okay, bet. But I feel like it's just that follow through, and I feel like that's part way for the cardinal energy. Cardinals are great initiators, but it's like, then it goes to, we pass that energy off to the fixed sign to maintain that type of stuff. So I feel like that there are kind of doing just like an internal check-in with yourself. How's the body being maintained? How's your environment being maintained? How is your, maybe as far as like, maybe if you're starting like a business or something along those lines, are we maintaining like it's just like I feel like this sort of like general, this sort of like upkeep is what kind of going through here with this main. It's kind of like, it's giving me very kind of like sixth house type of stuff. This is going to be a time for you to kind of get into maybe some developing some healthy routines, possibly. Maybe if you wanted to make more time to start reading, maybe you wanted to start up maybe a podcast, or maybe you wanted to start up did I say workout routine? Maybe I did, but maybe you want to play around with the foods that you're eating, or anything along those lines there. And I feel like even kind of asking yourselves too, the things that we are maintaining are kind of asking yourself why we may be maintaining that thing. What is this thing that we're putting our energy to? How is that giving, what are we getting back from that in return? It's kind of giving me like a sort of like Seven of Pentacles type of vibe there, Aries. But let me get some tarot on this and get some details. Oh, look at that Aquarius energy. A lot of it, well, which duh. But there has been a lot of Aquarius energy going through. Ooh, the Empress. Love it. Oh, let me get the rest of your cards there, Aries. Alright. Alright, Aries. So you have the Page of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, the Star card, and the Empress here. And how do we want to proceed? So with the Eight of Pentacles, this is basically the Sun in Virgo. This is kind of asking about like what I was kind of talking about, sixth house stuff, because Virgos are so, they live in the sixth house. And this is kind of asking you as far as just like how you're, I feel like it's just kind of like a reevaluation of your routines thus far. Is it something that I feel is really kind of living up to your potential and to your like your wish fulfillment in a sense? Are these the things that I find important in my life? Are they, are they contributing to my sense of fulfillment? Am I feeling this sense of happiness? Is my routine keeping me, and that's interesting, even with this Page of Pentacles, it's like, is this energy keeping me inspired, keeping me wanting to create something there, Aries? And even with the Empress, this could even be just like, again, just making sure to maybe take care of yourself there, Aries. Allow yourself to do some healing with all these energies that are getting ready to, that has been happening over maybe from 2023, and now we're just kind of processing all that, doing some self-care, kind of nurturing the body there, getting into those, again, those kind of self-care routines. But I do even feel, even for some, that you might even be where you may even be kind of helping others to, maybe you're some sort of like, either some, maybe like a life coach, or maybe you're like a workout instructor, or what is that? Yeah, we're a workout instructor, but someone who, maybe helping others kind of maintain their routine as well, like maybe taking something that you do and turning it into something else, like maybe like a side hustle. I'm thinking about like this. There's this couple that I've been watching for a long time. I work out from home, and I've been watching them for a number of years. And it's like they basically took, like, they already worked out anyway, so now it's like, why not just make the most of it? Why not share this with others? This is the type of workouts that I do. This are the trying with this style, trying with that style, just like, I don't know, like some sort of like teacher sort of energy that's even kind of coming through here. This Empress is like she's passing off this gift to like this little cat here, and that's very interesting there, Aries. So that's something that you've been even kind of been entertaining there. That might be something to consider, but I just feel like overall, this is kind of asking yourself, are the things that you're doing really kind of filling up your cups? Are we feeling satisfied with things around? And if not, what areas do we need? What are some things that we need to maybe like let go and kind of make space for, so that we can focus our energy in maintaining the things that truly kind of matter to us, and kind of stick true to who you are in a sense. And I feel that's very appropriate too, because considering that also you have like the nodes are traveling through yours and Libra signs right now, and the North Node is just traveling through your sign, which is where our soul is wanting to go towards. It's like, it's kind of like your guide. It's almost like your North Star in a sense with the North Node. And yeah, so I feel like this is going to be really time for you to just kind of really just tap into who you are, tap into your potential, kind of ask yourself and your guides, is this the path that I'm meant to walk on? Am I contributing to, are the things that I'm doing contributing to this growth? So I'm with it, Aries. That's a nice little start there. Oh, there goes. All right, Aries. Let's get a little tea. Actually, I'm gonna turn on the fan too. Hold on, Aries. And let's talk about Capricorn. This last little bit of Cap, because the Empress, Venus, is going to be entering into Capricorn on the 23rd of January at about 3:50 a.m. And with this is a very serious place for the Empress to be. She means business. This is Empress in her business professional dress. And there's a tendency to take relationships more seriously. Capricorn energy is one that's not about, it's kind of similar to Scorpio in a sense. They're not about superficial type of things. They want something that is going to work out for the long haul. And people might, you may notice that you might be seeking more stability in long-term relationships rather than the kind of short-term, kind of quick fixes, short-term flings and things like that. But the really cool thing about this energy, Aries, is that Venus does deal with resources and finances and growth and things. And so this is a very strong financial placement for Venus to be in, because there could be a greater focus on, looking into different, how to maybe improve your saves, maybe maintain that that those, make sure that your resources are keep growing, in a sense that your money's working for you instead of you working for the money. And also too, the energy of investing wisely and just making more financially sound decisions. So very dope placement for the Empress to be. And then when Venus enters Aquarius, she's going to be there on the 16th of February at about 11:05 a.m. And this this is an interesting place for her too, because now she's gone from business professional, and now the Empress like, let's let your freak flag fly. Let's do time to do you. Let your hair down, put on your craziest outfit, and just go for it, and not care about what other people think. So you may notice this really kind of impacts our aesthetic preferences, leading to a liking for more kind of unique, avant-garde, and kind of futuristic styles. styles, and maybe in fashion and art and music. You know, if you're let's say if you're, you know, maybe someone who works with fashion, maybe you're trying a bold style. Maybe we're now I'm a little out of my element there. You know, maybe we're going from a, I don't know, there has been a lot of like 90s style stuff kind of making this big comeback. I've been seeing a lot of that. So I'm like having like deja vu or like just like this like nostalgia bomb that's sort of like just happening here with all these things. So maybe you're just like, maybe we're trying to bring it back to the future, like whatever that's looking like. But also too, this transit might also see like increased engagement in like online, digital, or long distance relationships, given that, you know, Aquarius is associated with technology and innovation. So this could be one where if you're thinking about, you know, maybe getting back out there in the dating scene, you know, being more social that way, or connecting, networking with different people from different walks of life, or however that might be looking like there, Aries. So just something to think about. But the trickiness when she's in Capricorn is that she's going to be forming a square with your sign, and squares can be tougher energies, Aries. They form delays and challenges and kind of situations that are sort of out of our control, but ask us to adapt to the situation. And I've been using this car example for a while because I feel like that's a pretty solid one. But I've noticed like it's been very interesting. For the last like maybe 2 weeks, I've talked to 3 different people who have had different car things happen. 4 people actually now. Actually no, I was just talking with someone today about that. They were saying their sister happened to run into some kind of car stuff there. So, but it's like when those situation happens, you know, those things that are out of our control, it's like, okay, we have to send our car to the shop for X amount of time. What are we doing in that time? Do we have public transportation at our disposal there? And you know, it doesn't have to always be an inconvenience, because another person I was talking about, they're taking public transportation, but they're like, you know, this gives me time to. At first, it was like it was inconvenient, but you know, this gives me time to listen to podcasts and kind of just take in the scenery and don't really have to worry about the driving. So it has its pluses and its minuses. So it's just like, how are we working with those challenges that do come our way? You know, squares keep us adaptable, Aries. So, but let's get another oracle on this. Oh, interesting, Aries. Actually, very interesting. So you have the dream card here. And I say that's very interesting. So when so I got a whole little pile of crystals over here, just kind of scattered throughout my sort of recording space. But I kind of, you know, just allow the, you know, spirits to kind of just guide me as far as like picking the stones that I want to utilize to put on the decks. And the one here that I have, this is Azurite, and this can deal with dreams and kind of decoding the dreams and kind of understanding that type of stuff there. And so that's very fascinating, Aries. And so I feel for some, if you notice that you are a very active dreamer, and if you've been, or just notice that you've been dreaming a lot here lately, you know, when you if you get some, you know, if you want to make some time for this, you know, when you first thing when you wake up, keep a journal by you, and just kind of when you first wake up, just kind of reflect on what happened, kind of write that stuff down, see if you notice, and do this for however long, and see if you notice any sort of recurring themes, see if there's some sort of divine messages. Because you know, the when we're in sleep, you know, that's a time when we're dipping out of this sort of this realm, and kind of tapping into the more subconscious and unconscious mind there, and kind of processing all these energies and things. So I feel that, and maybe even for some, we might even be thinking about working with maybe someone who does with, maybe been curious about maybe dream work possibly, or dream interpretation, or whatever that may be. But I do feel too, you know, when we're talking about this maintain and kind of sixth house stuff, just making sure that we're keeping, because The sixth house also deals with like our health as well, and so we want to make sure that we are getting enough rest, Aries, and that we're, you know, taking care of the body, and that making adequate time for sleep so that we can dream and heal and get these messages as well, because source communicates to us in very very interesting ways there. But I feel like that's where, you know, in that sleeping realm, that's where we're really kind of you know, steeped in that energy. So, and I feel too, Aries, that this energy is kind of inviting you to, it's almost like with what Saturn and Pisces is trying to do, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's like, how do we, any dreams that you may have been keeping kind of inside there, you know, I feel like this with the star card, it's like it's a time to like really kind of let that shine, to kind of allow those energies to come through there, to start nurturing that energy with the Empress and putting some resources into that, to start growing that and seeing those dreams come to fruition, you know, grounding that energy. So, but let me get some tarot on this. Alright, Aries, let's see what's going on here. Oh, interesting. Alright, so you have the Two of Swords, the Justice card, and then one of the special major arcanas in this deck, there are two of them, which is the Unity card in reverse. And both of them have popped out so far. You're the first one that's gotten the Unity card so far. Both Cancer and Leo got the other card, which is the Grimo King card. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles and the Strength card upright here, Aries. Really want. And let's talk about this Unity, because I feel for some, this is giving me an energy of support, you know, as far as just like, if we're not in unity, let's say with the groups maybe that we're involved in, whether this is a work group, friend group, family group, you know, someone that may be getting in the way of, or just like not even getting in the way, but like hindering your dreams, or maybe keeping you in this space of indecisiveness. To a sword, you express these dreams, but then they try to, then maybe someone, and it might be intentional, but or it may be more so from a loving concern place, maybe throws these sense of doubts or whatever this is, as opposed to maybe being a little more constructive. I feel that it is, again, asking ourselves, you know, what are we, again, this is like how we started off with this maintain, you know, is this something that you want to maintain going forward? Is something that you want to put your energy into, you know, paying attention to the cause and effect, because something feels out of harmony here with the Justice card being here. Something's not quite lining up like like it could be. And I feel that this is you, because maybe for some we might need to have a conversation with a certain group, or maybe even just be, because this is Libra energy here with this Justice card, so maybe could be even just like a one-on-one thing. But I do feel that there might be this time where, I love this strength right here. This dog looks so shook, and this cat can't be bothered. But, and I feel like that's how, you know, you may need to act in this situation, Aries. You know, you may bring this thing up that, like, you know, may start distancing yourself, or, you know, just putting up more boundaries, or whatever that's looking like. And it's just like, sometimes that, you know, people might feel some sort of way about that, but it's one of those things. If the vibrations aren't meshing anymore, then we need to take a step back and kind of do that sort of internal work and find out where we can meet each other again on that. Or is there, or even just if we don't maybe even have to do all that, but it's just like maybe we can find a way to resolve it. But I do feel like it's something that is going to need to be brought up, and then hopefully we can, with the Queen of Pentacles, find something constructive to do with that energy. But I'm also feeling with her too there, Aries, that this dream energy here, I feel like is this new sort of resource that I feel like is kind of like unlocking in you, in a sense. Like something that's really starting to become more kind of prevalent in your life here. Some sort, and it may not even have to just be dreams, but some sort of like maybe new intuitive gifts or something along those lines. Maybe you've noticed that, you know, I was actually, and she's an Aquarius, but there's been this thing where sometimes I'll message this friend, and it's literally with her every single time. The moment that I think about her, and I'll give you like a really great example. I was in the middle, we hadn't spoken in maybe probably like a month, and I was in the middle of typing a message to her. I was at my side gig, and I was like, I'll finish this message up in a little bit. And then, because I had something I needed to do, but then when I went to check back my phone, who's texting me? So it's just like things like that, and that's happened all like often, like here over this last. So, kind of really kind of looking into maybe, and I might even be too, you know, maybe we're forming a new bond with someone. Maybe we're not feeling this sense of belonging here, or maybe we need to go off and kind of find our own type of, maybe find your own identity in a sense, you know, maybe, you know, whatever this might be looking like for you there, Aries, and we're just a little on the fence about that, leaving this comfort zone. But I do feel like you have the courage, and you do have the drive. And if you're worried about, you know, maybe as far as like social skills, I feel like Aries is a very charismatic sign, you know, like I like that. Actually, just, I don't, believe it or not, Aries, I don't know that many Aries. Like I've not met that many, and I just met one not too long ago. But I love Aries energy. I love the way, especially with how it's just like let's go. Let's do it, let's move, you know, that they, you know, some may call it impulsive or see it as aggressive, but I dig it. And I mean, I got a lot of heat in my chart too, so I mean, that I'm sure that helps. But yeah, just something too, I feel like yeah, just, yeah, I like that, Aries. I think I'm gonna leave that there. Alrighty, now let's get into Taurus, because you got Big Papa Jupiter that is that's in Taurus, and then you have Uranus that's and Uranus is actually going to be going direct here, going to be going direct on late towards the end of this month. So it's going to be, that's going to be an interesting one, I feel, with once Uranus wakes up. I think that's going to be in a very interesting time. But let's talk about Jupiter first, because Jupiter is going to be in Taurus until the 25th of May. And with this, there is an emphasis, or there has been an emphasis on growth and expansion in practical areas, particularly related to like material resources and physical comforts, all things Taurian. And also, it's favorable time for financial planning, investing in long-term assets, and enjoying the physical world there. You know, really kind of pleasing the senses. But you do want to be mindful, though, because Jupiter is such an abundant energy, just gives and gives and gives all the time. Not really, but the Jupiter can be a double-edged sword, because if you give into those sort of like quick fixes and those sort of like immediate release, those kind of quick dopamine hits, those aren't sustainable long term, Aries. It's just them's just the breaks. You know, it's more so thinking about those kind of long term investments. You know, how do you make, how, like we were talking about earlier, how you, with the Empress, how you make your money work for you long term. But that's Jupiter and Taurus there. But this is we still have a little bit of time with this Jupiter and Taurus energy. So this is really great, for kind of getting things solidified and getting any sort of plans and things that you wanted to get initiated, started there, Aries, so that start maintaining for when Jupiter moves into Gemini. That time, I feel like that's gonna be an interesting one. But also Uranus is going to be he's going to be in Taurus for a little while longer. He's been there since 2000. Oh, I want to say oh goodness, 20. I'm having a oh goodness. The date just fell right out of my head. He's been in there for a while. He spends about 7 years in the sun, about a time. So do that math. But Uranus brings about radical change and pushes us towards the future there, Aries. And, once he goes direct, you know, things are going to start, it's been kind of quiet for a little bit. But now when he starts waking up, there may be a collective shift again in what's valued materially, challenging traditional views of possessions and wealth. And this could lead to, continue to lead to more significant advances and changes in agricultural, environmental practices, and how we interact with the natural earth there. So, or excuse me, with the natural earth, with the natural world. And so I do feel we do want to be mindful as well, because the earth does give us so much. And I feel like sometimes and not just you, Aries, just as a society, I feel like we've kind of gotten away from, we've just taken for quite a while, and now I feel like it's like taking, how do we reduce that carbon footprint in a sense? What ways are we giving back? Are we composting more? Are we maybe starting to grow our own things? Maybe starting, I mean, you don't have to necessarily have like a whole garden. Maybe something starting as small as maybe growing your own herbs in a sense. Maybe having some, maybe maybe a big fan of rosemary or thyme or mint, or just little things like that, kind of exploring along those lines, just kind of working with and connecting with the earth again, and just appreciating the gifts that she does give us. So just something to consider there, Aries. But let's get another oracle on this. Ooh, look at this. I'm with it. Look at you having some fun there, Aries. I love that. You got the festival card here. And I feel with this festival card, is making, especially if you've been maybe kind of overwhelmed with thinking about like, oh my goodness, we're in the new year. I have to do all of the things. I have to get on this new workout routine. I have to start this new trend. I have to do this. I have to do that. All the things. And now, if you've been just in this sort of overwhelmed type of energy, or just been feeling a lot of anxiety with all of these planetary shifts, because the thing is, even if you don't actively follow astrology or something like that, we still do feel these energies in some way, however it resonates with you. And it's a lot, regardless of whatever you call it. And I do feel like it is making time for play, making time to kind of release that, to something to, finding ways to, maybe getting together with some friends and celebrating, or even when things do seem a little tough there, seem a little hectic, sometimes that playful energy can help you remove yourself from being so steeped in that, in whatever situation is that you're in. When you remove yourself from that, give some play, and then when you come back to it, some new insights can come from that. Maybe, you know, solutions that you didn't see before kind of come to the forefront. It's just like, oh, but it's just you needed that break, you know. So that might be something too, if you find yourself maybe working too hard, or, you know, kind of pushing your, you know, really pushing yourself. You know, be mindful of your energy, you know, with this strength card here that can deal with your vitality as well there, Aries. But in Leo energy, Leo is a very fun sign. You know, they are associated with the fifth house, which is about creativity, self-expression, fun, romance, all of those just lighthearted things that just brighten up your day there, Aries. So yeah, definitely. And even too, just with Aquarius, being in this Aquarius energy now, you know, maybe partaking in different group activities, maybe going to like, you know, whether with the weather's permitting, you know, maybe going to like an art festival, or maybe a music festival, or whatever that's looking like there, Aries. But let's get some more tarot on this. Oh, actually, let me light my candle here. My candle went out. Bam. Oh, oh. Interesting. You're getting a lot of pages here. Alright, let's see what's going on here. So you have the Page of Wands, the Knight of Cups, the Five of Cups, and the Moon card upright. And then you have the Page of Swords in reverse. So with the Page of Swords being here, this always gives me Gemini energy whenever I get this card. And Gemini energy is one that can have a very overactive mind. You know, they want to learn all of the things, and they're very great multitaskers, but sometimes Gemini energy can spread themselves too thin in the pursuit of this knowledge, because there is so much to learn. I have a Gemini moon, and that's like feeds my soul, you know, to just needing to process stuff. And I feel that there's a need to, I almost feel this Page of Swords is like a taking a break, giving your mind a break in a sense, you know, doing some things that just kind of tend to your heart space in a sense. You know, Page of Wands, go do something fun, go do something adventurous, do something out of the norm for you. Maybe you go to like a theme park, or maybe you go to a whatever this is, just something fun, something new, and something exciting. And I feel that, and that's interesting too, because with this Five of Cups, I almost feel like that maybe for some we're wanting to do it with maybe the current, either like friends or something. Like, it's like, because the Five of Cups can be this energy of disappointment, or kind of like letdowns and things like that. And maybe we've been trying to make time for friends or something like that, but we haven't been, schedules maybe haven't lined up. There's always something that's getting in the way. You know, maybe they're just like, oh, I don't know, with this moon card, you're afraid to kind of like step outside of the comfort zone, or whatever that might be. And I feel like this energy is inviting you to, if they're not doing it, that doesn't need to prevent you from enjoying this fun, trying out something new. And who knows who you may meet along the way. Because here's the thing, Aries, you know, when you think about like socializing and meeting people, everyone has that same sort of fear when it comes to, you know, meeting new people. What are they going to think about me? Am I going to be accepted? Am I going to be this? Am I going to be that? But it's those who have that confidence, just sort of like, you know, I'm just going to kind of go with it, you know, just sort of see what it goes. I'm not going to force my way into something. I'm just going to kind of go around, just kind of like, just let it sort of happen organically, and just see where it goes, you know, just kind of start up just like kind of casual conversations and things. But And every time this moon card pops up, there's been a little bit of moon energy going around here too with this Pisces energy. But I'm also thinking about this moon here. It's interesting that I got this deck right around the time that there's gonna be a full moon in Leo this month. I want to say it's on the 25th of this month of January. And so you see this little line face that's or is this a line? No, we established that it was a cheetah, I think, with Cancer. But you see this cheetah and this moon here. We can call it a lion. That's a cat. Leo energy, embodying that sense of fun, journeying into something. Maybe we think that we're not that socialite or whatever. And I feel like you have to be, super gregarious, but it's that confidence. And I feel Aries energy does have that. And you can still be in, kind of this introvert, but and it's just finding that balance there, Aries. I feel like it's like the energy is inviting you to just get out there and have some fun. So I dig that. I like this reading here, Aries. There's this very very light. I feel like it's what's kind of going down here. It's and maybe not entirely light, because if we are thinking about like a group change and things, that can be tough. Let me not downplay that. That can be a tough transition when we go from a certain group for however long we may have identified with this group. Maybe the dynamics are starting to shift and things, that can be a little tough there. But that doesn't mean that it has to be the end of something, and it can be, but it's also concurrently the beginning of something new. Now there's this new space for some new people to come in through there, and for ways for you to get inspired, and to even, and maybe that might even be something too, while I'm even talking about that, how that with that Page of Swords in reverse, maybe we're needing someone to just kind of challenge ourselves a little bit more, push our minds a little bit. But yeah, there's something to consider there, Aries. But let's talk about this last energy while we're speaking of the moon, which is Pisces. Because you got Saturn that's in Pisces, and then you have Neptune that's in Pisces. Now, Saturn's going to be in Pisces until the 25th of May, 2025. And with this energy there, Aries, this is, I like this, because Saturn is one that, sure, he can be a bit of a hard ass. He may ask a lot of us, but he's the type that he's a little different from Jupiter. He rewards the same, but you have to do something. You have to do a lot in order to get that reward. But once you put in that work and get that reward, it's that, if anything, it's a little bit more satisfying, with the abundance that Saturn brings and Jupiter brings, because Jupiter just gives it so easily, where Saturn is just like, it's that effort is, there's something like that, sort of patting yourself on the back, like, yeah, I did that. That feels good. It helps you grow in so many ways. And in being in such an intuitive sign of Pisces, you learn to tap into these, because let me tell you what this energy is about. Because this is a period for really kind of you're grounding your dreams and spiritual insights, learning important emotional and spiritual lessons, and, and really learning to responsibly navigate the more kind of ethereal, kind of, kind of otherworldly type of aspects of life. Because something too, and listen, take it as it resonates. Aquarius energy and stuff, they can deal with space and things along those lines. They deal with astrology too, but just connecting with those higher forces, their Aries, and however that might be looking like. But where was I going with this? oh the thought ran away from me. But what I'll circle back to is, I feel when you learn to really tap into those kind of, getting into those sort of like spiritual practices, like getting into more kind of like maybe like meditation, or maybe you're working with crystals, or maybe working with maybe even working with herbs, or maybe doing more kind of just more kind of spiritual type of things, really kind of however you connect with source, maybe doing more kind of creative types of things, whatever. You know, I feel like that can be a very powerful tool to go into. I feel like this is the year of preparation. I almost kind of feel like, because I feel that we're going to have a lot of outer planet activity that's going to be happening on in 2025 that I feel like is going to be a wild one, and not in like a you know, like a don't you know, stay calm, but it is going to be a lot of energies that are going to be coming through there. Saturn's going to move, Neptune and Uranus are going to be moving, Jupiter will be moving too that year too. So we got four outer planets that are going to be moving. Pluto's just setting the tone for this one, but so it's going to be very, and we're going to be, Saturn and Neptune are going to be moving into your sign. So this is about to be your time there with Saturn and Neptune over this, especially with Neptune going to be there over the next about 14 years or so. That's going to be a fascinating one for you there, Aries. A very one of it could potentially be a solid one there for you. So just something to think about. And speaking of Neptune, I was about to keep on moving, but let's talk about Neptune, because Neptune will be in Pisces until the 30th of March 2025, and this is a period of profound spiritual and emotional shifts, both on a personal level and on a collective level. And it's been a time that really kind of favored introspection and artistic pursuits. I want to say that Neptune entered in about, I want to say it's like 2012, something along those lines. I have to double check. I want to say that's when she entered into Pisces, but we have noticed a shift in, you know, people working with, you know, getting more in touch with the earth, as far as like working with like, you know, different herbs, or, you know, this big, you know, increase in like astrology, or in like Reiki, or like hypno breath work, or all these different means and modes of connecting with source. So, but it's also been a favorable time too for artistic pursuits and explorations of the spiritual realms. But the trickiness with Neptune and Pisces is sometimes we can get lost between that line of reality and illusion. So that's something that you do want to be very mindful of when we're dealing with these energies, and not getting lost up, staying stuck in the dream there, Aries. We gotta, sorry, there, balloon. So taking that as a sign, balloons popping up there. Aries, excuse me, I'm not sure what causes that one. I'm still figuring out this stuff. Apple changed something up, and now it's technology. What you gonna do with it? But yeah, I'll tell you what we're doing. We're just gonna get an oracle card on this. Let's move on. How appropriate. Alright, so you got the create card here, Aries. And I feel with this create card here that this is absolutely this I feel like over this next and just always, Aries, you know, just making little moments, little pockets of things to create something, to allow yourself, whether that's maybe writing some poetry, maybe if you had a little ditty stuck in your head, maybe getting like a voice memo app and just like kind of recording like a, you know, little songs on your things. You don't have to do anything with them, but just something where you're expressing yourself, or painting, or maybe working with clay. Building maybe we're building things. Maybe you want to build a computer. I mean, that can be creative. I mean, just however this may manifest for you. But your whole reading has been, again, very kind of a need, I feel like, to see where we just kind of, again, evaluate where we've been putting in our energies, and are we living to our dreams? Is this what we want with our journeys? You know, what have we created thus far? How have we been contributing? Because again, Aquarius is one that is asking you, you know, how are we contributing to society? And I feel like Pluto being there is like, now we're in this place where we're not going to be able to just sit on the sidelines and just kind of be observers. You know, we have to figure out in what ways do our gifts and our creative things help in the betterment of the soul tribe there, Aries. So, and I know that can feel like a lot of pressure and things, but this is not just, it's not just you that the universe is asking this of. It's asking for everyone, because we're all connected. You know, we all have this same sort of goal in mind there, but there's just been this dissonance that has been put in through our society, that so now it's like we need to form this sense of unity again. So, and this could even maybe be for some, maybe we're thinking about getting to some sort of collaborative work, you know, some co-creation with this, because the star card can be about that too, you know. But yeah, let me get your last tarot cards here and see what's going on with this energy. Saturn. Oh, and your ruler. All right. All right, Aries. So last little bit here. You have the Tower, Mars, and the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And then you have the King of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the World upright here. Let's switch back over. You know, actually, just like as I was talking about all this free, fun energy and things, because before, because Mars is moving pretty late into Aquarius. It'll be closer to almost like Pisces season when he's moving into Aquarius. So you are kind of taking on that kind of that Capricorn type of flavor right now, which Mars does very well in Capricorn. You know, he's just like, Capricorn's like, I want to do more. Mars is like, okay, let's do it, bet, like all day. But I do feel that with this energy, Aries here, that I do feel this. That's interesting that there's this wrecking ball with this tower here, because I do feel that there might be, for some, that we may need to close out some things with the World card being here. There may have been either some relationships or certain situations or a certain chapter that may be kind of coming to a close there, and now it's just, I almost feel this Five of Pentacles is just like, what are we going to do with that? You know, what does that look like going forward there? But I feel this Five of Wands there, when you get that sense of, feeling that sense of, you know, dis-ease and just like kind of nervousness and things, that kind of conflicting energy, that's meant to fuel you into action, like not to try to get to where it's crippling you. It's like, okay, this is happening, I feel this way about it. Where am I going forward? Being more inquisitive about it, you know, really kind of sitting with it and understanding the source of, why do I feel maybe even this attachment to this energy, or having troubles maybe letting go of, you know, maybe said group or whatever it is that we may be kind of, whatever foundation is no longer working for you with that Tower in reverse. And yeah, just get a deeper understanding with that, more clarity. And the King of Cups, he's the one, he has a love for everyone, you know. But he does understand, though, that there is a need for boundaries, you know, that he can't be everything to everyone, you know, as much as he would love to. And I feel like it's like, how do we take that, maybe, because that's something I definitely resonate with, but it's like, how do we calm maybe that sort of internal storm that's happening maybe inside with you, as far as like what we need to change, and how do we assuage that, and kind of calm this sea down a little bit on this side here, Aries. And I feel like this is you even understanding yourself on a deep emotional level, like what truly fulfills you with all this creativity, this fun. Because I don't feel like this is just like you just sort of like just going around, just not a care in the world, just kind of lackadaisical, just, like that's not the energy that I'm getting. It's more so just like knowing when it's time to crack down and do some work, and knowing when it's time to put the books down and go out there and have some fun, enjoy yourself, enjoy the fruits of your labor. And that's where I feel like this is understanding that deep, like that you do have emotional needs as well as physical needs, and all the needs. So I dig it, Aries. I think I'm gonna leave that there. So, but if you like that, Aries, give it a thumbs up and share this, Aries, because yeah, I feel like this is a nice energy. I feel like for your sign, for I feel like all signs could definitely benefit from this energy, but for you, I feel like this is one that is can be, you're definitely a lighthearted, more kind of a lighthearted one, more of yeah, opportunities for connecting with new people, kind of getting fresher perspective, broadening your mind. So, who knows what that might look like there. So definitely share that, Aries. And then subscribe there, you tower. Hit that bell button, get notified now of these videos each week. And then last little bit, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the chair then, friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. And the tarot card spreads I do, they're based off, where the moon is at as far as what sign she's in, what phase she's in. I talk about when she's going void, of course. It's a good old time there, Aries. And all that housekeeping. It's down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. And that's interesting, Aries, because you got the Eight of Wands here. And with the Eight of Wands, I feel that the first thing I got with that was just like a need to maybe kind of slow down a little bit, to just kind of take in, be present in, especially like when you're out maybe doing like festivals, or when you find yourself in a creative space or things, to really, to not, to just like, I feel like kind of disconnect from like, from your technology for a little bit and just be very present. I remember going to a really, a concert once, and it was a really big concert, and yeah, sure, I took a bunch of pictures and videos and things, but I made it a point to be a majority of the time there, because that's where it really matters, because the phone stuff, like, it's cool, it's nice to have that documented and things, but nothing really beats that full experience when you're going through it just moment by moment, and really just kind of processing how the energies just sort of like are just like churning. So yeah, I feel like that's just yeah, something to just kind of slow down a little bit. But I even feel too, just when we were talking about that dream card, the Eight of Wands can be this card of messages as well, and I feel that maybe for some we might be getting these downloads in our dreams, in a sense, in that they're just wanting to be interpreted, especially if you notice that you have like recurring dreams all of the time. What is that? Why am I having these dreams? When I think about said topic, what does that make me feel? What is that? And then kind of getting to the source of that. So, and not just sort of like brushing that off. So yeah, something to consider there, Aries. But let me get your other oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Thank you. Alright, Aries. So you got the fate card here. I'm with it. And this is a card of accepting help and guidance. And Aries, because like I was saying, I don't know if I mentioned this with the star card. The star card can be a card of unexpected help as well. And for some, if you've been needing some sort of guidance with maybe how to maintain a sort of healthy, maybe we need help learn how to maintain a healthy work-life balance, or maybe we want guidance in a certain craft that we're working with, or again, maybe something with this dream interpretations, or whatever that is, or maybe you just need help in just like, yeah, just kind of having some just having fun. But I feel that this is a a very collaborative energy that's coming through here, Aries. I feel like, socializing, kind of networking is something that I feel is going to be a big one for you for this Aquarius season. And again, how I was saying that these energies are forming sextiles with your signs, which again create opportunities. You never know who you're meeting, Aries. They might be one that you maybe end up starting a band with, or who knows. But just something I feel like to keep an open mind and an open heart with, and see where that may lead you. Fate has a funny way of bringing people, the people that, that get brought into our life. Nothing happens by accident. It's all in divine timing. So I think I'm gonna leave that there, Aries. But you stay safe out there with all this fun and maintenance and maintenance, but dreaming and festivals and creative. I do. This was a very cool energy that you're in, Aries. I dig it. And you raise your vibration through the roof. Do some creative things. Go out and, maybe go to a campfire, or whatever that might be looking like there for you, Aries. Maybe have like maybe throw like a slumber party. I don't know. When was the last time you did that, Aries? That might be fun. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.